He was their support. He was their backbone. A lot of people regarded him as.
Yeah, exactly. And I still think they have a lot of potential. But just seeing them like the past few events, I don't really think they have the same like power they had with Csgo.
They've lost a bit of the gleam in their eye as they try and find Snax comfortable, try and make this man comfortable. Sean, your response to that, I mean, a lot of people kind of have the opinion, and I say a lot of people, I'm actually kind of mirroring Chad's here, where he finds himself saying that if you put Snax in the same spots as Sticko and he's comfortable, I mean, he's going to hit more shots. So, I mean, that is an upgrade.
It is true, but the way that he approaches retakes and kind of positioning on T side, and the way he moves around smokes and his desire to use utility to help teammates is very different from Sticko's. And I kind of agree with Bjorn that they've struggled a lot since adding Snax to the roster, and I'm a little bit surprised. I don't know. It's very hard to figure out exactly why, but clearly things aren't meshing for them right now.
And I think you can compare Snax' lurking style to the old Get-Right. The thing is, Get-Right has adopted a new style. He's not playing that lurker style anymore, but Snax is still trying to play that. And it might have worked in 2014, 2015, but it doesn't work today.
Yeah, things have changed. The game has evolved, and indeed, this roster is brought to you by DreamTeam.gg. When it comes to their strengths, though, look no further than, in fact, lo and behold, we have the FPL star Rops in this roster. He climbed, he got recognition on the FPL circuit, and now finds himself at the Face It Major. Full circle for him as he looks to make his debut.
Yeah, and I think in addition to Rops, the man on your screen now, Sunny, who is such a stud in game. He is constantly putting up huge performances for Mousesports, and he's even doing it outside the server. He quit smoking 3 weeks ago.
I saw that, nicotine-free coming into the major.
It's a little dangerous coming into the major.
I mean, you know what? There's no good time, and there's always a good time, and this time for him seems to be now. 3 weeks free, and he's coming into that major without his. I saw who was it that commented?
Edward.
Edward say
you're gonna be more nervous.
You're gonna feel more nervous.
Yeah.
Interesting. I love that little exchange. And going up against them, we have the Ninjas, NIP, a fabled name with a brand new roster. And Sean, you already talked a little bit about it, but Lekro, the in-game leader. I mean, I would love to know your thoughts, Threat. I mean, this guy as a player doesn't seem like the leadership type.
Honestly, I'm one of the big NIP doubters going into the Challenger Series. They shocked me when they went 3-0. I did think they would advance, but going 3-0 is a huge feat for them. And when I watched them play against the Astralis, they passed the eye test, actually. They play very different than what I'm used to seeing. They have executes that are very solid on the A bomb site and B bomb site, and they have a really strong mid control that can branch off to both sides. And I know that sounds basic, but that's something that I think NIP has lacked for a long time now.
And I really like that the Swedish teams are daring to take new IGLs, because who else are you going to pick on that team? You're not going to take Force or Get-Right. Dennis has tried it in the past as well, and obviously not Res. So I think Lekro is a great choice for an IGL.
Yeah, I mean, they could have taken Exist back, right?
He seems to have, he seems to have been, he's going full circle, of course, in that Fnatic roster, and actually conceded a rather tough loss early today. Worth checking out that VOD if you didn't catch it. But where do this team's strengths lie? You said they've reinvented themselves, Bjorn, but where? Where has this reinvention come from?
I think they're just playing a more individual style now.
Individual style?
Yeah, and I agree with Sean here. I think since they added Lekro as the IGL, they have added some executes and play a bit more tactically, but they're playing way more puggy than when I was on the team.
Yeah, they definitely play super puggy, and they have the skill, though, to back it up. They have some really, really solid players in Dennis, Forrest, Rez, Lekro. I mean, even Get-Right is actually, like, you would consider him the least skilled player on NIP right now, and that's shocking to actually hear myself say that. Like, that's how skilled the lineup is.
That's just credit to the others as opposed to, you know, lowering your expectations of Get-Right. Yes, time continues to move on. He said he's changed his role. And actually, speaking of Lekro, he's featured in our head-to-head as we are getting drunk in excitement for this one. It is, of course, Sunny versus Lekro. Now, talk to me about this head-to-head, Sean. Sunny was a bit of a surprise to hear coming out of your mouth. He is consistent, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think he's Mousesports' most consistent player. I can always rely on Sunny to come through regardless of the map, regardless of the side. I think he can turn rounds on his head with a Deagle. And that goes for both of these players, actually. Both of them are incredible Deagle players. And they're not typically, you know, first entering bomb sites. They're very good at trade killing and very good at positioning themselves in, like, the mid and late rounds. And that's why I think this is a great matchup.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Sunny is probably the best player on mouse sports. I think a lot of people would say Rops, but as you said, he's just very stable, doesn't make many mistakes. He's not a flashy player like Lekro could be with the Deagle. Hopefully we can see some nice Deagle rounds from him today.
Fingers crossed. I do want to start talking maps though, gentlemen. Now, I'm looking at their recent head-to-heads in 2018. They played the likes of Nuke, Inferno, Mirage in their last best of 3 over in Ukraine. ECS, Season 5, we saw them play Train and Inferno. Seems like we've got some maps we're definitely not seeing here, Threat.
Yeah, and we're definitely not seeing Dust 2 or Overpass because it's the permabans for both the teams. I think this veto is quite hard to predict. I think it's going to go either Nuke or Train, and it's going to be NIP that gets to choose the map.
Okay, and can you explain your thought process there? Why no Inferno? Why no Mirage?
Well, NIP has struggled a lot on Inferno lately, so I think they're going to veto it. And
oh, they did?
They did, right.
And Mouse Sports lost 16-1 to FaZe on Cash, so they're probably going to remove Cash.
Called it. There it is. You're like a savant.
Even in the orders, too. That's the best part.
And yeah, Mouse Sports already removed Overpass. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's the perma veto.
So
they're probably going to remove Mirage now.
So actually,
Train.
Mirage and Nuke, if I'm not mistaken. NIP have a choice to take it to Nuke.
And I think Mouse Sports has actually been putting in a lot of work on Nuke. I mean, we saw how strong NIP looked on Mirage versus Astralis. I would think that they're going to go towards Mirage, yeah.
Ooh, okay. Bullet dodged in some people's eyes, but no, we do get to see Mirage. NIP had the choice and choose to take it to the map that, if I'm not mistaken, they actually beat Astralis on.
Yeah, and I'm quite surprised that they didn't veto that map. I thought they were going to veto it because they lost to, or they beat Astralis, and also Mouse Sports lost to North on Mirage, their last game in Stockholm, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm quite surprised that they let that map through.
Yeah, especially because I think when I look at this iteration of Mouse, they've struggled a lot on Mirage. It's not the Mouse of old where, you know, they dominated the map and they were the #1 team in the scene on the map. It's a very different team from that, and they've dropped off considerably on this map.
Yeah, and it is time for us to make a choice between Mouse and NIP. We'll bring in your casters for this one as it's prediction time. It's crunch time, and Anders is once again warming up. Anders, you got to go last. That was a luxury I only give you once. I'm going to force this out of you right now. Explain your working. I'm like your high school teacher. Explain your answer.
Yeah, if we don't see proof.
Because you just keep saying a team and then being smug. I can't have that again.
I had to do this on an IQ test, and his reasoning is hard to understand sometimes.
Come on, man, hit me.
Yeah, but Sean, I was right, wasn't I? So
you were right.
Mouse, Nick.
I think this is going to be NIP, and I think they look really impressive. Again, they're one of those teams coming out of the challenger stage. I think it makes a big difference that you're sort of all warmed up. And I just think Forest and Rez are a great combo. They're going to play out of their minds, and if they can get Dennis to play just a little bit better, just 3-4% more, I think they'll have what it takes. So
NIP for Anders.
Yeah, how much more precision do you want, Moses? Do you want?
I just like that you regurgitated everything that was just said in the death segment. That was fun.
Jason, you got anything else for us?
I'm going to take the ninjas as well.
Okay, 2 for the ninjas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to explain, does you?
I don't have to
You've done that plenty. Gentlemen, are we going all NIP? We all flying that flag? I mean, Threat, you have an excuse. You probably own at least 3 NIP jerseys.
Go Mouse Sports, Threat, live life on the edge.
So what you're saying, bro?
You can't go back home if you don't.
I have to go NIP.
I mean, I'll give you that one. That's fine. That's a freebie. How about you, Sean?
Man, I just think Jason is always wrong. I kind of look against him.
Yeah.
I'm going to take NIP.
Can't
You
really
are?
argue the man, can you?
Can't.
Now that feels weird, because then that would mean that we all predicted NIP. They did beat Astralis on Mirage, and that's weighing on my mind too heavily to go against them. I'm going to have to go for NIP as well. I think this is incredibly close to call, and of course there is always that chance that every single individual Mouse just goes nuts and we all look silly. We'll find out.
Yeah, but there's a chance it happens for NIP too, Alex.
Touche. And indeed, I'll let you guys take this one away.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I think it's good to see everyone coming together in spite of all of our differences, Moses.
Yeah, a lot of unity going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got that whole thing lined up.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, well, and also we have the Upcomer app, which
We do.
Yeah, which we'll bring up on the screen. Upcomer.com, where you can download it off the iTunes or Android.
I think Mouse Sports is going to have a lot more backup than we gave them.
Hell no.
You don't think so?
I think this is going to be leaning towards NIP all the way.
I don't know. I just feel like Mouse Sports is they're still a dangerous team. I'd be shocked if they're going to have.
They are
almost
obviously still a dangerous team. Yeah, that's something. That's obviously 90 for NIP. I told you.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, it's 61 to NIP.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
what I see?
Getting word
That's
in the
more
ears.
reasonable. That's more reasonable.
Yeah. I think obviously the Astralis games are going to have something to do with it, and I think obviously anytime you have Forest playing well and even GetRight playing well, I think that's going to remotivate a lot of the fan base and a lot of the. Let's roll.
Moi.
Yo.
Last game go. Csgo.
Okay.
哇，兄弟又遇到你了。
我爱你。
兄弟，你为何这么屌？啊？就是那个屌。玩的开心就好。廣東啊！
走吧。
哇，中了好多，快去！我一听你讲这个普通话，我就知道你是廣東的。
你廣東哪？
我雲南的，你別想太多了。
สวัสดีครับ。
打 B，Go B。Fuck me。
Ven. What the fuck?
哇，你们怎么死啊？
能不死吗？我从第一使劲找。
哇，中吧，从跳台那里上去，都去跳台有机会，真的。Let's go。兄弟，我就问你一句，我的指挥没毛病吗？上 ，Come on, guy, up。What the fuck?
Yes. Shot. Heaven क्या?
都不想往前怼。一口，我擺，一口。哦，你冇一口，我擺。Together. get that guy. Oh, 输得好惨。
Streamer.
Tapi kat YouTube. Try.
Ah,
Bus. 2 mid. 有这么凄凉吗？
我母鸡怎么说啦？兄弟，你去跳台那里电我一下。
又等上集就没活的。
那我去 B 了。我去 B。I go B。
Bus.
The guy's out.
Orange boost. Oh shit. One mid. 2 mid. Run. Behind. Aim. 妈的，我瞄他，他不出来；不瞄他，他就出来。我操！真他妈日了狗！
能不能一起统一一点啦？Guys, rush B, okay? Rush B.
Okay, let's go, rush B.
We must move.
Go, come on.
Pushing, brother. Hey.
爆头位，打方。
Ui, hai. Không bỏ push.
哇，这三个大哥为何这么菜啊？
冲啊，杀鸡鸡！
Move it. Smoke.
Push.
I'll throw the flashback. Flashback.
Push up. Hai.
Grenade out.
Xin đưa sao?
Yes. Throwing smoke.
我一直都在 A 啊。
天，本来技术就菜，还有3个外国人。
Let's go, my brothers.
我垫你上去，我垫你上去，先抢中路。Push me, push me.
Sure.
Throw in the flashbang.
Go, go, go.
Throw in smoke. I'm throwing the flashbang.
Take bomb at Amin.
Bomb. 谢谢包一下。
Heaven up. A side low. Nice try. Yep, kanan kau hide.
缺。各位。
Go A. This guy B maybe. You up.
I'm planting.
Careful. Draw AK tu. Oh, thank you bro.
Give me. AWP. 哎，
他说凭啥给你啊？Thank you, brother.
哎，他们真牛逼。哎，我垫你，继续垫你。
你要上去干嘛？受死啊！
我靠！那
不要了。
你垫我。我操，没秒掉。来 ，Go。
One close.
Terrorists win.
你一枪没打中他，操！
你打中他一枪了吧？
但是那个队友没打中他一枪啊，打中一枪我不就杀了他？
哎，都说了，那3个都是菜逼。
Guys, I tell you, we kill them all.
，mid two, garage two. Labas ya. 哇，危险！这在打啥？我操！
唉，天，服了，怎么会配到这种队友？
没问题的。
电我上去，我会要打10个。
你这还要上去啊？
嗯。不是。我靠！
Garage pushing. Okay, behind. Shot. One guy low as fuck.
下包！我操，白车！
Drop.
白车最后一个确定。
This guy drop. Oh.
下包，先下。
Activating the bomb. Terrorists win.
Let's go.
这个好像是挂逼，我先举报。真的。
Come on, let's go. Throwing bomb.
有 HB？
Throwing a flashbang.
Van. Rotate to E.
Terrorists win.
这又是为何？这枪有毒啊！我操！哎，
唉，服了。
你还别说，我很喜欢用这把枪。
我电你上去，敢不敢上去一个打10个？上去就死了。那枪扔我先上去干了。中路，别去 A 了。
What the fuck? Heavy. One drop with mid. Walk, bro, walk. Garage last.
中路。还在中间。
这里？
对。 不在这里，我刺死了。好枪，兄弟。nice，的确好枪。
不可选。
GG，牛逼！我靠！
看我拿重举去制裁。来，点我上去，一个打。
走，我电你上去。
Thank you for the AK。
No，
等他的火啊！
哇，好凶！中路来安全。去 A， 别犹豫。棒，给你棒。Nice。
Side one. What the fuck? Nice. One drop. Ouch.
我说了，给我吧。
哇，阳功！又是时候表演认真的技术了。对的。看我去 B， 打他一枪制裁。
Nice。
I'm throwing a flashbang.
Checkers up. I take already.
Wow, đâu rồi?
Nhìn là sao này? Không phục thiện mà được sai anh chúng tôi.
Come on, let's go.
丢了。
他烧。
对，等一下，等他烧，烧就丢。
2 mid, one close mid. Một枪。
Smoke. Terrorists win.
这三英军队好难哦。
哎，真不知道这3个大哥在干嘛。
这是第一个喂，你说。
没事，这个 USP 我有点信心。我去 A。
Let's get this done.
还不买甲，他们是要打第2把吗？第3把吗？还是任意扣一把？
没。
Throwing flashbang. Incendiary.
哎呦 A 好多。
哇哦哇哦哇哦哇哦哇哦！
唉，有这种队友我也是服。
啊，我的救世神枪来了 ，FM 57。
上一把吹牛逼就吹到这把了，我靠
！Grab your gear and let's go！
哎，赶紧送啊，我都不想玩了。
没事，这个世界还是很。第一个，B。
第三路位就是团队。
啊！我突然觉得喷子挺厉害。
Lock and load。
用什么都完了，完了。
Me.
Flashbang。
I will。Habis spray kena Q tak kena, jadah. Nak naik rank ni.
Someone like a Rez who can put up big numbers and people say, oh, he's really good at the fragging, right? Because even if you then get kicked from the team at some point, there's a chance that someone else will have noticed and said, you know what, he's good enough, we want to try this.
I think the nice thing about NIP though in that regard is that Get Right and Force aren't really like the kind of pros that are ever going to like kind of lord their resume and pedigree over you, it feels like. From my knowledge, I guess there could be some kind of interaction behind the scenes that I don't know about that would prove that wrong, but in my interactions with them, they seem like to be the more kind of humble pros who
they
aren't going to say, listen, I'm not listening to you, or something along those lines.
I don't know what I'm saying. Rez hiding in Sam.